What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 11 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get 11 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord. It can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $7,525 just yesterday. Another member who won $100 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, a link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel, the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So first pick we're going to be talking about is none other than Breanna Stewart, and this one is a combo one for points and rebs for 30.5, and this one is for more. Now when we look at this combo one, we actually seen Breanna Stewart go on the over in 2 out of the last 5 games, and as we all know guys, it is the WNBA finals, and they actually, or New York Liberty do actually face off against none other than Minnesota Lynx. Now we look at Minnesota Lynx, we do see that they rank second in actually points allowed, and on top of that, when it comes to rebounds allowed, Minnesota Lynx actually do rank further down as they do rank 8th, and that is a big reason why we do very much like the over here. When we look at Breanna Stewart, yes, she is a fantastic player, but on top of that, what we also do like to see is that when it comes to Breanna Stewart, she is or has a very high usage rate in both of these departments, and because of that, we definitely see her taking advantage of Minnesota Lynx not really ranking too high in that rebounding category. Like I mentioned, they did rank 8th during the regular season, so we think Breanna Stewart is going to be able to get a good amount of boards. Now when it comes to points, when we see game one, we actually saw her points and reps together only get 27, but she didn't have the greatest game in both points and rebs. But we think now that she's understood the defense, what type of defense Minnesota Lynx is going to give her, we think Breanna Stewart will be able to adjust, especially in offense, and we continue to see her have a very high usage rate coming into this next game. So although she did go under in that game one, we still did like and saw there was a lot of usage rate from Breanna Stewart, and there was definitely enough volume for her to go on the over here. So we definitely think that is going to change coming into this next game, or as we like to call it, game 2. So because of that, definitely keep an eye out for Breanna Stewart. We definitely see a lot of value there to go on the over. So Breanna Stewart, 30.5 points and rebs for more, I think is an absolute steal. Now getting to the next one, we're going to be talking about another great player, which is Jonquel Jones. So Jonquel Jones, great player, and this one is for points, rebs, and assists for 27, and this one is for less. Now look at Jonquel Jones, we've actually seen her go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games, with one of them being a push, and I do face off against Minnesota Lynx. As we all know, Minnesota Lynx, like we mentioned before, ranks second in points allowed, but in assists allowed, they also do rank first, and then rebounds allowed, Minnesota Lynx do rank 8th. So an interesting one there. Now, the reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here is that Minnesota Lynx actually do a very good job at restricting points, rebs, and assists to Jonquel Jones's position. Now, although she did go on the over in that game one, we definitely think it was due to the fact that the defensive strategy that Minnesota Lynx came into this game was to stop Breanna Stewart and other players, or other bigger name players in that matchup, which led to Jonquel Jones having a little bit more opportunities to be able to go over on her line. We definitely see that changing coming into game 2. We tend to see this with game 1 and in any sort of NBA or WNBA finals, that when it comes to that game 1, we tend to see a lot of second, third string type players or third option type players do very well, and that's due to the fact that a lot of the focus is on that option 1, on that option 2, which we definitely saw. But now that game 1 is out of the way, we think it is going to adjust, or Minnesota Lynx are going to adjust their defense, and we should see Jonquel Jones return back to reality, and we should actually see her go on the under here. So because of that, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this situation here. Her average over the last 5 is 25.6. The most recent game, we do believe, is just more of an outlier, realization, and because of that, we are sticking to the under for this situation here. So Jonquel Jones for 27 points, rebs, and assists for less, I think is an absolute steal. Now getting to the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Napheesa Collier. So Napheesa, great player. This one is a points and rebs combined as well for actually 30.5, and this one actually is for less. So when we look at Napheesa Collier, we've actually seen her go in the under in 2 out of the last 5 games, and they do face off against New York Liberty. Now we look at New York Liberty, they do rank 3rd in points allowed. On top of that, when it comes to rebs allowed, New York Liberty do actually rank 2nd, so very high in both categories. On top of that, they also rank very high when it comes to restricting points and rebs to the forward position, which is what Collier is as well. So this one, we are definitely liking the under for this situation here, no doubt about it. We definitely see someone like Napheesa Collier going on the under due to the fact that, you know, when it comes to her usage rate, yes, she does have a great usage rate, but we have seen, you know, Liberty just do such a great job at restricting points, rebs, and assists to someone like Napheesa Collier. But thankfully with this one, you know, we are focused more on points and rebs in this one. Now when we look at what the bookies are saying, the bookies also have them favored for the under as well, and that is a big reason why we are sticking to the under for this situation here. So we think that when we look at the average over the last 5, yes, it is 33.4, but they did face off against Connecticut Sun in that matchup. Collier was able to take advantage, but with Liberty, as we've seen from game 1, she wasn't able to do the same, and that's why we are sticking to the under here. So Napheesa Collier, 30.5 points and rebs for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines, so there are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is Courtney Vandersloot from New York Liberty, who has been averaging 6.4 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 4.8 assists, and she's been doing a fantastic job for Liberty, and they do face off against none other, like we mentioned throughout this whole video, they do face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now just to refresh your memory as well, Minnesota Lynx do rank 2nd in points allowed, 1st in actually assists allowed, and then 8th in rebounds allowed. Now when it comes to someone like Courtney Vandersloot, we definitely are liking the under for this situation here due to the fact that Minnesota Lynx do rank very high in all categories, but they also do a very good job, especially against Courtney Vandersloot's position. On top of that, Courtney doesn't have the highest usage rate in any of these departments. She's very much on the lower side, and we have seen through that game 1 and throughout this whole WNBA playoffs, we have seen that New York Liberty, especially someone like Courtney Vandersloot, her usage rate has definitely decreased a lot, and you know, some games she may have a pretty decent game, but others, and most likely, we tend to see her go on the under when it comes to her usage rate out there. So because of that, we are sticking to the under for this situation here, especially against a tough team like, you know, Minnesota Lynx. We are expecting a lot of great defense from both teams, and because of that, we could expect also slower pace, which means less volume for Courtney Vandersloot to be able to really provide a lot. So that is a big reason why we do like the under for this situation here. So keep an eye out for her line. If her line is too close to her averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Courtney Williams. Now when we look at Courtney Williams, we've actually seen her average 11.1 points, 4.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and she's done a fantastic job for Minnesota Lynx, and Minnesota Lynx do face off against none other than New York Liberty. Now New York Liberty do rank 3rd in points allowed, just to refresh your memory, 3rd in assists allowed, and on top of that, 2nd in rebounds allowed. Now a big reason, you know, when we look at this is we actually do very much like the over for Courtney Williams, but we like it for the points category. Now when it comes to actually, you know, the team New York Liberty, they do a very poor job at restricting points, rebs, and assists to Courtney Williams' position, but we do like to focus on points because Courtney Williams has had an increase in her usage rate in that points department throughout this whole playoff series. Even if we look at game 1 against New York Liberty, she did actually have 23 points. Now we don't really know what the strategy is behind the locker room, but what we do notice is that Courtney Williams has been getting a lot more volume out there. She's been able to hit it consistently, and we think that will continue on into this next game, you know, especially coming into it since they did win, you know, the most recent game against New York Liberty. So because of that, we do very much like the over for someone like Courtney Williams, but we would focus a lot more on points. So keep an eye out for her line. You know, I definitely see a lot of value to go on the over in her points category, especially if the points line is under her averages. So keep an eye out for that. So guys, if you do want to win more bets and win more money, don't forget to join our exclusive Discord group by signing up to our Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description, or you can also find it in the pinned comment down below. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets and win more money today. So guys, I'll see you over there, and I'll see you soon. Peace.